evening and welcome. It's an enormous pleasure to welcome this evening's adjudicator, Robert Quinney. Robert joined Eton as a sixth form scholar in 1992. He went on from Eton to be organ scholar at King's College, Cambridge, and since then he's held a succession of top jobs in the church music world. As Assistant Master of Music at Westminster Cathedral, then sub-organist of Westminster Abbey, on to Peterborough Cathedral, where he was organist and master of the choristers, and now as organist at New College, taking over from Edward Higginbottom. It's a very great pleasure to welcome you today, Robert. Hopefully you all have programmes. It's going to progress without any form of announcement, only to say that GRP have pulled out, unfortunately, so GRP will not be performing at the very end. But we start by welcoming MJP.
But when he come and all the flowers are dying, if I am dead, as dead I well may be, you'll come and find the place where I am lying, and kneel and say an Ave there for me, and I shall hear all soft your tread above me, and o'er my grave will warm a sweeter be. For you will bend and tell me that you love me, and I shall sleep in peace until you come to me.
I've been living for the weekend, but no, not anymore. 'Cause here comes that familiar feeling the Friday's famous for. Yeah, I'm looking for some action, and it's out there somewhere. You can feel the electricity all in the evening, and the pages strip off the shame. But sometimes you wanna go, but everyone knows your name. So I guess I'll have to wait and see. But I'm just gonna let something brand new happen to me. It's alright, it's alright, it's alright, it's alright, it's alright. Bright lights and the make city, it belongs to us tonight.
I've got the magic in me. Every time I touch that track, it turns into gold. Now everybody knows I've got the magic in me. When I hit the floor, the girls come snapping at me. Now everybody wants some fresh on
First that island tempo blow your mind. Pick a verse, any verse, I'll hypnotize you in every line. I need a volunteer, but you with the eyes. And come on down to the front and stand right here and don't be shy. So come on, come on, do the show tonight. You had to be astounded, no ghost of poltergeist. No Pinocchio, I never told a lie. You call me Mr. Magic Man, I'm gonna cloud nine.
I've got the magic in me. Every time I touch that track, it turns into gold. Everybody knows I've got the magic, 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 magic. Walk down that lonesome road, all by yourself. Don't turn your head back over your shoulder, and only stop to rest yourself when the silver moon is shining high above the trees. If I had stopped to listen once or twice, if I had closed my mouth and opened my eyes, if I had put my hand and warmed my heart, I'd not be on this road tonight. Then sorry for yourself. It doesn't save you from your troubled mind. Walk down that lonesome road, all by yourself. Don't turn your head back over your shoulder, and only stop to rest yourself when the silver moon is shining high above the trees.
When I want you in my arms, when I want you and all your charms, whenever I want you, all I have to do is dream, 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 dream. When I feel blue in the night and I need you to hold me tight, whenever I want you, all I have to do is dream. I can make you mine, taste your lips of wine, anytime, night or day. Only trouble is, gee whiz, I'm dreaming my life away. I need you so that I could die. I love you so, and that is why whenever I want you, all I have to do is dream. I can make you mine, taste your lips of wine anytime, night or day. Only trouble is, gee whiz, I'm dreaming my life away. I need you so that I could die. I love you so, and that is why whenever I want you, all I have to do is dream, 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 dream.
Postman Pat, Postman Pat, and my cat is cat. Early in the morning, just as day is dawning, he picks up all the post bags in his van. And that's Postman Pat, Postman Pat, Postman Pat, Postman Pat, and my cat is cat. All the birds are singing, the day is just beginning. Pat feels he's a really happy man. He's home by lunchtime. Everybody knows his bright red van. All his friends will smile as he waits to greet them. Maybe you're not sure. Knock, ring, letters to your door. Postman Pat, Postman Pat, Postman Pat, and back my cat is cat. Early in the morning, just as day is dawning, he picks up all the post bags in his van. And that's Postman, Postman Pat, Postman Pat, Postman Pat, and back my cat is cat. All the birds are singing, the day is just beginning. Pat feels he's a really happy man. He's home by lunchtime. Everybody knows his bright red van. All his friends will smile as he waves to greet them. Maybe you're not sure. Knock, ring, letters through your door. There might be letters through your door. Text demands from dear old Postman, 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 Pat and his cat. In the morning, just as day is dawning, he puts the postman's in his van.
some chicks. E-I-E-I-O. With a chick chick here and a chick chick there. Here a chick, there a chick, everywhere chick chick. Old MacDonald had a farm. E-I-E-I-O. Old MacDonald had a great big farm. E-I-E-I-E-I-E-I-O. And on this farm he had some ducks. E-I-E-I-O. With a quack quack here and a quack quack there. Here a quack, there a quack, there a quack, there a quack. Here a quack, there a quack, here a quack, there a quack. Quack quack, quack quack, quackity quackity quack quack. Old MacDonald had a farm. E-I-E-I-O. On this farm he had some pigs. E-I-E-I-O. Yes, on this farm he had some pigs. E-I-E-I-O. With an oink here and an oink there. Here an oink, there an oink. Old MacDonald had a farm. E-I-E-I-O. Old MacDonald had a farm. Old MacDonald had a farm. E-I-E-I-O. And on this farm he had some chicks. On this farm he had some ducks. On this farm he had some pigs. E-I-E-I-O. E-I-E-I-E-I-E-I-O. E-I-E-I-E-I-E-I-O. On this farm he had some chicks, he had some ducks, he had some pigs. Chick chick quack quack, chick chick quack quack. Oink 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 oink. All on MacDonald's farm. To me, honey, you'll be mine. Way down yonder in the old cornfield, for you I'll pine. Sweeter than the honey to the honeybee. I love you, say you love me. Meet me in the shade of the old apple tree. My Eva, Eva, over Eveline. My Eveline, say you'll be mine. Whisper to me, honey, you'll be mine. Way down yonder in the old cornfield, for you I'll pine. Sweeter than the honey to the honeybee. I love you, say you love me. Meet me in the shade of the old apple tree. My Eva, Eva, over Eva, Eva, over Eva, over Eva, 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 line.
feel blue in the night, and I need you to hold me tight whenever I want you. All I have to do is dream. I can make you mine, taste strips of wine anytime, night or day. Only trouble is, gee whiz, I'm dreaming my life away. I need you so that I could die. I love you so, and that's why whenever I want you, all I have to do is dream, dream, dream. I can make you mine, two strips of wine anytime, night or day. Only trouble is, gee whiz, I'm dreaming my life away. I need you so that I could die. I love you so, and that's why whenever I want you, all I have to do is dream, 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 dream.
No, I'm not trying to be rude, but hey, pretty girl, I'm feeling you. The way you do the things you do remind me of my next scoop. That's why I'm all up in your grill, trying to get you to a hotel. You must be a football coach, the way you got me playing the field. So baby, give me that toot toot, and let me give you that beep beep. Running her hands through my fro, bouncing on 24, as they're saying on the radio. It's the remix to Ignition, hot and fresh out the kitchen. On a rolling, my body got every man in the wishing. We're sipping on coke and rum. I'm like, so what? I'm drunk. It's the freaking weekend, baby. I'm about to have me some fun. I'm gonna have me some fun. We love to bounce, 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 bounce. We love to bounce. We love to bounce, 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 bounce. We love to bounce. Well, it's like murder she wrote. Once I get you out the clothes, privacy is on the door, but they still can't hear you screaming more. Girl, I'm feeling what you're feeling. No more hoping and wishing. I'm about to take my key and stick it in the ignition. So baby, give me that toot toot, beep beep. Running her hands through my throat, bouncing on 24, as they're saying on the radio. Toot toot, beep beep, toot toot, beep beep, toot toot.
I should explain there are two separate cups. The first, the Quartet Lloyd Cup, and this is for a performance where there's just one singer on each part. And the second cup is the Crusoe Cup, where there's more than one singer on each part. Great pleasure to welcome back Robert Quinney.
Well, thank you very much. It's lovely to be here, and really we should be thanking all of the performers for a really enjoyable and actually very varied evening's entertainment. So what I'm going to do is just go through the performances in order, and then I shall hand out the gongs over here. I both cases, the cup is not actually attached, so I shall be careful the way I lift it. It's a deceptively difficult thing to do, to sing in a small ensemble like this. And there are lots of reasons for that. One is that most of the music that we've heard this evening is conceived to be sung by one voice with an accompaniment. And so for 3 or 4 or 5 or more singers to join together and project what is very often a kind of rather personal, confessional, emotional sort of journey, it's quite difficult for 4 or 5 people to do that all at once and in the same way, and a way that actually communicates to an audience. Where it's successful, it's really very touching actually, and very, very moving, but it's very easy for it to be rather self-conscious and a little bit embarrassed, and you mostly avoided that actually. So it is some very, very impressive and assured performances by people demonstrating a very high level actually of musical competence, because that's the other thing that's difficult about it. There's nowhere to hide in this kind of arrangement. Every part, and that's not exclusively just the pieces sung one to a part, but even in the slightly larger ensembles, every single voice is contributing something absolutely essential to the musical texture. So if somebody goes a bit wrong, it can mean that the whole thing kind of careers off the road. And we heard virtually no problems like that this evening. So I think a lot of work has gone into this. And we certainly derived a lot of enjoyment from it. To go through these performances one by one, first we heard Honey Pie, and I thought the ensemble here was absolutely excellent, and the voices really blended together. Blending voices is really about everybody just singing the same vowel sounds. That's really all it is. But you'd be surprised how often we don't hear that. We really heard it in this performance. It was really very good. Maybe you could just have played with a slightly wider dynamic range. You weren't scared of singing quietly. There's some very beautiful quiet singing at the start, actually. But you perhaps could have let the phrases come and go a little bit more. But this was a very impressive performance, very accomplished. Then we heard Salvator Mundi, the only sacred text that we heard this evening, but not one that is lacking in emotional impact, actually. It's a plea, O Saviour of the world, who by your cross and precious blood has redeemed us, save us and help us. And I thought this was a performance with a very good sense of flow and propulsion. The voices were all moving in the same direction. But I did think, I'm afraid, that you didn't really engage with the text, or at least you didn't engage us with the text. When you start singing Auxiliare nobis, come to our help, it needs to sound more urgent, and it sounded a bit like the phrases that we'd heard already. So it's difficult, perhaps, in a piece with a Latin text. Though this was college, I mean, you know. Perhaps it's more difficult to engage an audience in a piece that has a Latin text, but if you understand what it means, then actually we can see it, we can hear it in your voices and see it in your faces, if you will turn to us and communicate it. It's maybe something to think about. But difficult to sing that music, very, very difficult to sing. It was a very good performance. Then we heard Danny Boy, and this again is very difficult and deceptively so, because it moves very slowly, and also everybody knows the tune, so you're kind of at a disadvantage there. But you did very well here. You kept very well in tune, occasional blemishes. I felt that the performance didn't quite flow. I felt it got a bit stuck. And that's perhaps just to do with not letting the vocal line flow from one syllable to the next. It occasionally felt that the next beat of the bar or the next syllable was quite an effort to get to, and in this music we really want it just to sound like somebody kind of singing to themselves as they walk across the field. So perhaps it lacked a kind of naturalistic quality. It was perhaps a bit too studied, but that's probably because you worked very hard at it, and it was quite clear that a lot of work had gone into the details of ensemble and tuning, and it was very accomplished in those directions. Then college returned in rather different guise, and I thought this was absolutely great. And I think you'd clearly worked very hard at getting it absolutely together. And I thought the 3 solo turns were very, very good. And it lacked self-consciousness, which, I certainly couldn't have stood here and performed that music in a way that was not rather self-conscious, so I take my hat off to you. Maybe it's easy when you're young, I don't know, but it was very good and I enjoyed it. Then we heard Walk Down the Lonesome Road, which I thought was beautiful. It's a lovely intimate performance, and one can achieve that with a small number of voices, singing, as it were, to themselves, but also allowing the audience to sort of eavesdrop on what seems a kind of private performance. There are some issues of balance in this, that the accompanying voices slightly started to overwhelm the solo voice in the middle. The solo was beautifully sung, but overall it's very, very nicely done, I thought. Then we had our first performance of Dream, Dream, Dream. I thought there were 4 very fine voices on display here, in very good ensemble. Occasionally the tuning slipped a little bit, and the other thing that the performance slightly lacked was a sense of being rhythmically grounded. And I'll return to that when I talk about the other performance. It's interesting to have 2 performances of the same piece to compare. But there's some really excellent singing here. And So It Goes by Billy Joel. I thought this was a very fine performance to listen to, but I wasn't sure that you were really engaging the audience with it. The song has this very beautiful kind of inward quality, but we need to see more of your faces if we're going to feel drawn into it, I think. Quite a few of your heads were in the copy or turned inward, and it just illustrates a point I was making, that doing this kind of performance you have to concentrate so hard on ensemble and listening very carefully. It's easy to forget that you're performing it to an audience. If you see one of the very accomplished groups like the King Singers doing this kind of thing, it looks like the easiest thing in the world for them. It's incredibly hard work, in fact, but it looks as if they just happened to have turned up and now they're singing this song to you. That's kind of what you need to go for here, very difficult as it is. And I thought maybe if you had given a bit more thought to projecting the piece, then it would have been even more enjoyable. But it was very beautiful to listen to. And there's some lovely solo singing, and it was very, very well together. Now, Steal Away was a slightly odd performance, because those songs of Yale they're intended to be sung by tenors and basses only. It's not quite clear from the score that that's what's intended, but that's the sound world of them. And this performance with 3 voices was very, very widely spaced, so the chords didn't quite match up, and you found it quite difficult to tune. But it was sort of oddly touching, actually. It was a very nice performance, and I enjoyed it. I think if you'd really concentrated on your tuning, then the text might have given you a bit more assurance. It felt not an entirely assured performance. And I think if you've been really confident that you were singing very well in tune with each other, which is something that you can work on, then perhaps the text, which is a very dramatic text, Steal Away, about green trees are bending and all that stuff, that might have communicated a bit more to us. I felt you were slightly constrained by just worrying a little bit about the technical aspects of the performance. Then we had the searing emotional experience of Postman Pat, which actually, you did this with tremendous wit and energy. It was very, very good. Your tuning was not brilliant, and actually to pull off something like this, which, there is no... there's nothing kind of deep to engage with in the song. I think that's probably not doing a disservice to this piece. Unless there's some kind of hidden message in there that I'm unaware of. But anyway, there's not much to put across to the audience. So what you have to rely on is the technical sort of brilliance of perfect ensemble, perfect tuning, and the tuning went when you did sharp dynamic contrasts. That was when it kind of came a little bit out of shape. And also when you were moving around, I think your eye was off the ball a little bit, so the tuning went a bit then. But I thought the whistling was impressive. The Longest Time, another Billy Joel song, I thought that was lovely, a very accomplished performance, and some very versatile singing by some members of the group. Again, I thought perhaps that you were concentrating so hard on getting it absolutely together and really well in tune, really watching and listening to each other, that it just stopped the song from really flowing out to us. And I'm not saying that because I think that's an easy thing to do, but it is something that in this kind of performance you really need to address, that you're not just singing it to yourselves, but actually you are engaging your audience with it. And it didn't quite get there all the time, but there was some very beautiful singing. Now for another trying to think of a polite way of putting it, but Old MacDonald Had a Farm anyway. Another song in which it's difficult to engage the audience on an emotional level. Let's put it that way. So I mean, again, it's something that will work if all the technical aspects of the performance are really, really good and well drilled. And they basically were, actually. I thought you were a bit self-conscious about the oinking, which actually, to be able to oink, really convincingly, requires quite, very good vocal technique, and a little challenging for you. I don't know, but maybe somebody could arrange a coaching session with a pig. I don't know. No, it was very, very enjoyable. It was very enjoyable, and actually you had clearly worked on getting it well together. But these pieces that are fun, they're the kind of the most difficult ones to bring off, I think. But well done. My Eveline. You didn't always achieve a perfect balance here between the voices. Second voice down predominated a bit too much, at times when it wasn't necessarily supposed to. It's kind of the lead voice, but then there are other times when it needs to take a back seat. The tuning wasn't great, but I thought this was a really well-conceived performance. They're not difficult notes, but actually that actually is a wise choice that you made, because you were really able to concentrate on the ensemble. Most of the time the tuning was very good, and also an excellent dynamic range. That's very difficult with just one voice to a part, to really move together up and down the dynamic. So apart from those moments where one of the voices predominated, I thought that was very, very good and well done. Then we heard our second performance of Dream, 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 and it will not have escaped your notice that there was clicking going on in this performance, which actually really helped keep it going. I wasn't sure I liked it all the time, but I do think it kept it moving. I was talking about the other performance of that, which felt to me a little bit rhythmically groundless. This one certainly wasn't, and very good tuning, but I thought maybe because it was being moved on all the time, it didn't quite ebb and flow expressively in a way that it might have done. That was my feeling about it. So it's difficult to say that one of those performances was better than the other. They were very good in different ways, and perhaps the perfect performance would have been a blend of the two of them. I'll put it that way. Oh yes, now the final piece. I have to say, I mean, as an older Tonian myself, there is something slightly bizarre about watching a group of young men in tailcoats sing a piece where the idea of putting a key into an ignition is a very thinly veiled metaphor. It is bizarre, but also very enjoyable, and it was very good. I think you perhaps what I put here was that perhaps the questionable moral content of the lyrics accounted for the rather self-conscious and therefore not entirely convincing manner in which you performed. I thought perhaps I don't know, but very, very enjoyable for all of us. As I say, it was bizarre, but it was very good. Well done, all of you. Now's the moment for all of us to just thank the performers for all the work they've done. So there are some commended, some highly commended, and obviously 2 winners. And which one should I do first?
The Crusoe.
So the Crusoe. For the Crusoe Cup, I should like to commend JMOB for Walk Down the Lonesome Road. I'd like highly to commend AMM for And So It Goes, but the winners of the Crusoe Cup are College for Bright Lights. Good, and now in the Quartet Cup. So I would like to commend the 2 performances of Dream, Dream, Dream by ML and MAG respectively. And I should like to highly commend JMG for The Longest Time and JDN for My Everline. The winner of the Quartet Cup is MJP for Honey Pie.
Words of praise for all the performances tonight. This is only my 4th year, but it is by far the best House Harmonies competition I've seen here, both in terms of the number of houses who've entered, but also in the quality of those houses. And those houses who didn't get commended or highly commended, please, you really must feel very, very proud of what you've achieved, because it really was something special tonight, so thank you. Thank you particularly to those boys who have been the ringleaders in each group, who've organised the ensemble. Sometimes there were F-blockers who were in the driving seat, so a very big thank you to them. Thank you to Mr. Yo, who's put the whole thing together. A round of applause for Mr. Yo. Mostly, of course, thank you to Robert. Robert has been with us all afternoon. He's been helping prospective choral scholar applicants and giving them training sessions. He's taken the most fantastic College Chapel Choir rehearsal early on. He's had dinner with some of the boys as well, and now has given such a thorough adjudication with some extremely good sort of pointers forward. And I say pointers forward because it would be lovely if these groups stay together all year. So don't think of this at the end. Come and get some more music and carry on working all the way through the year. But as I say, the biggest thank you to Robert Quinn.